Free Country 99.9 WFRE. Alan Jackson there. Will Robinson with you. And in the studio, I'm honored, Bice.
Hey, how goes it?
Really good. Can you move that?
Yeah. A little bit closer.
Everybody's probably going, oh, wow, you're so lucky. You guys are talking about American Idol. We're talking about motorcycles.
We're talking about motorcycles. We're talking about hanging out. I mean, that's what you do, right?
Yeah.
You ride motorcycles. You love it that much. See, I happen to be a Harley Davidson rider, not an owner. You know, I don't just own it. It doesn't sit around. So we have fun with it. I'm glad we got something in common, man.
Me too. We need to go do a ride because we have got some beautiful countryside around here.
Yes,
I mean, it is absolutely pristine riding.
Well, you know, just if you twist my arm hard enough, I'll come back up here and we'll just go down here and get us a couple of Harleys.
How about October 3rd?
Well, let me check my calendar.
We'll do a Toys for Tots run.
And, man, that would be awesome. If I'm open, I'll tell you, I'd seriously be open to do something like that.
Let's talk about that. We'll talk about that later. Let's talk about stuff that other people want to hear. You've got music out. Believe me, they hear me talk about motorcycles all the time. You've got a CD out called 3.
3.
And that's a big number for you.
Yeah.
And I kind of know the reason, but you want to spill the beans?
Well, really, this started out as a working title on a project that a year and a half ago that I started on called 3, and it was going to be the third album. Was the main reason, and then we had our third son, Ian Jacob.
That was in January.
January, and so between the third album, third child, and I'm a huge Dale Earnhardt fan, love my NASCAR, so what better name for a CD than 3?
Very cool. And you got some. Now, I was reading some of the quotes. How would you describe your music? Because I know a lot of people still probably just associate you with American Idol, but you are well beyond that. That's just one little facet of you.
Well, yeah, I mean, Idol was I think it's an understatement to say a big launch pad for me. I mean, it's but also I look back on the chance that I had on Idol, to the kind of music that I was able to play. There was no strategy. I just happened to pick songs that I loved, and certain things fell in my lap. So the fact that people know me from the show and know me from the the Jim Croce or the Blood, Sweat and Tears or Ides of March or Travis Tritt, I think they see a different spectrum. So that really, for me, is cool, because on this new CD, Bice 3, it's very much, you've got some Southern rock and blues influence. You've got Southern gospel in there and straight country. And then there's even, one or two good old rock and Bice. Bice music's what I call that kind of stuff. It's just a bunch of the influences that I've had in my life. I just try to wrap it up and make my own little pie crust with it and bake whatever we can, man. So it really is. It's just, I think, just good Southern music.
Very cool. Well, I'm going to get you to do some here in a minute. I want to ask you another American Idol question, because I've had the fortune to sit with a few people who've been on Idol. And I remember the first time I saw, and I won't say who it was, a contestant from Idol sing, and I was really blown away that person vocally was challenged at that show that I saw. Right. And so my first question was, well, how much working with a coach do you do? And I found out none. Right. They don't really work on that. So that said, what's the biggest thing, other than obviously the instant popularity that comes with it, but what's the biggest thing that you got out of Idol? What did you learn from that?
Idol for me, I was blessed enough to be, doing this and in this business, kind of making a living since I was about 14 or 15, playing gigs. And so a lot of the auditions, a lot of the, as I've said before, every week was an audition for me to keep the gigs that I had. I'd play every Monday acoustic here, every Tuesday acoustic here, every Wednesday here, and I'd play in my band on the weekends. And so every day was kind of an audition. And so for me, I think just being on Idol and having that opportunity to be around the caliber of talent. You do have people behind the scenes that help. I wouldn't say guide you, but they're there, try to make some of the people better at certain levels. But it was really like a boot camp for me. It's a boot camp for doing things like this. Even though I'd been doing stuff for 15 years before, I didn't do a lot of interviews. I didn't do a lot of things on television and things like that. I'd done some, but so Idol gave you that opportunity to where they kind of trained you the right way to do things, some of the wrong way to do things. And I think in the case that you might be talking about also, it's very much a... I've always told people it's not what you did on Idol, it's what you do after Idol that really is going to set the tone for what you're going to do for the rest of your life. I mean, whether you want to be in this business or you want to go sell cars or you want to, be a manager or go do whatever, you really do. You just need to work hard and practice. And, I've got a voice coach. I still go to a voice coach, even though I love to sing and been doing it for years. I think once you think you've learned everything, then either you're dumber than you think, or you just burn out.
Well, I mean, Tiger Woods has a golf coach. I mean,
that's right.
Really, you can never get
that
to where
good.
you know it all.
Right.
Exactly.
I wonder if his golf coach has a golf coach, though. What do you think?
I think his golf coach has a big bank account, is what I think. I know that you love music and you love being on stage, but I hear that you would be okay with just getting into the retail racket.
Yeah, man. That's before I went on Idol. I'm manager of the guitar store. I've done just about everything. I've dug ditches. I've flipped pizzas, and I was the absolute worst electrician.
Pizza flipping's not such a good
it's
thing.
not. It's
Burgers,
hard.
you might flip. Pizza,
I flip pizzas. Trust me, they looked like I flipped them. But it is, man. I'm pretty happy with what I get to do. I've been making music and making CDs, and I have my own label and my own recording studio. So I'll always be doing that kind of stuff and producing and being an artist. But if I ever had a chance to do something other than music, to be honest with you, one of my dreams has always been to kind of have like a rock camp, for kids, teaching kids how to almost like a school of rock thing, And, so,
get
something
Jack
like
Black
that.
there. That would be.
Hey, man,
worth the
I would
price
start
of
that
admission.
just to get Jack Black to come over,
That's funny. Well, I saw in where I was going with that, I saw that you have aspirations to own a guitar store. I mean, you said you've worked in them, but you would like to own one.
Yeah, at one point I did say, what would I like to do? It'd be to own a guitar store. I don't mean this to sound kind of in a bad way or conceited or anything, but it's almost embarrassing. It's not even a conceited thing. I've kind of got a guitar store now. When they asked me that question 5 or 6 years ago, I probably had about 8 guitars. They're like gremlins. You spill a little bit of water on them, they multiply. And so now I've just learned one lesson. Always buy them in the same color. That way my wife doesn't ask, is that a new guitar? I say, no, ma'am, that's that black guitar that I've always had.
I've had that thing for years.
I just happen to have 40 or 50 black guitars,
I guess, for you, owning a guitar store would be like a kid owning a toy store. I mean, it would just be.
Or a candy store. I'd be jacked up on sugar all the time.
All right, I tell you what, we're going to take a quick break here and then come back. You can play something for us? Is that
I'd
cool?
love to.
All right.
Man.